Got a lot of cool tech in
testing
the
my.
utility
I need
build.
to
I think
test
we'll
my
see a lot of
invoice
fun things
against
tonight.
this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Oh yeah, Salty's always loud on comms.
Things to kick off here should be
These two come together pretty often.
Week 3. We got major minor item split, which is nice after some of the full countdown stuff we were doing.
So how is this?
But we still have full area, which is slightly less nice, and boss shuffle, which can be a little frustrating at times. But
And Solski is the buffest looking grape I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness.
So no wonder they're called the Muscle Club.
Is that a grape or is it an egg?
It can be whatever you want it to be, dude.
I'll go with grape.
Okay, I won't argue with you. Asder and Solski have done a lot of rando stuff. SMZ3.
Okay, just
Super
turn the
Metroid
commentary
rando.
way down. Okay.
They know all the ins and outs. They have way more knowledge than I could even pretend to know about.
Ah, yeah.
But if you want to stick
chat.
around, I will make up random stories.
Might be the most
for you
unbalanced
that you
audio I've ever heard.
And then chat will correct me, because that's how we roll here.
Yeah. Let's just tell lies. Okay, so down here, when they get the morph ball, they're going to have to do Mario Kart game, and then maybe a couple of rounds of Punch Out, and then they can go get...
Yeah,
couple of rounds of Punch Out.
Tyson down first is going to be in the lead.
I've heard that's kind of tough to do.
Well, I don't run that game, but...
Solski, what are you doing?
Now, chat?
He had morph and he went up top anyways.
Audio balance is off. Okay, let me turn my gain down.
Whoa, we got power bombs. That's nice. And an E-tank in the ceiling.
This is just one match. So we're gonna be seeing, we got teams, we got 28 teams, 3 players per team. So Asder and Solski just doing this one match against each other. We had Apathy Duck run against Andy earlier today. I won't ruin that for you just in case you missed it. But we had D-Web and Tracy.
I really like going for...
It was a lot of fun. So
I guess it like depends.
if you would like to know.
If you're comfortable with good construction zone strats, I feel like you should just always go for Alpha Missile first if you can.
Missiles and power bombs, but you know, we don't have super missiles. I'm hoping we see them soon, because you know some of these seeds they like to withhold the.
So I've managed to forget what happened during, like since I actually rewatched it. So probably a good thing. So I'm checking this transition. It's pretty safe in these circumstances, and if this is a dead end and it's the knowledge of it is like required, you get fucked pretty hard. And it's vanilla.
But we got a meme route check from Asder, and it was totally vanilla.
Yeah, so not to hate on these comms or anything. I like them, they're pretty good people. And it's not like they know nothing, but... And I know they like to calm together because they're friends, but... They don't like... I feel like combined the two of them, they don't know enough.
Can't find any good supers, and there's no good transitions on the left.
Yeah, and Solski definitely wants to find his tempered sword, so all the Zelda bosses are easier.
Because they're just filling time with memes and stuff because they don't know what to say. So wait, Solski just straight up didn't check. Like, I can understand in some situations people feeling like it's too unsafe for them to check the meme route entrance because they're worried about side hoppers or whatever. But you should check the minor. I'm pretty sure that's where my first supers were.
You're not top of Green Brim, but top of Green Hill.
So this this new bridge transition, like just leading back to Escatoria, tells me Solski is gonna Solski is gonna get here either way. But my routing worked out better. And I think what I was saying on my own VOD was that
the seed really wants them to go to Green Brim.
If I was missing like if speed is at Bomb Torizo, this is the classic like meme route versus not in vanilla map is if like speed's at Bomb Torizo. You miss out on waterway potentially, but that's like a very, very specific case, and you're not going to miss a suit in criteria with suit restrictions being on. So
This will be definitely funnier for anyone who heard the last one.
Solski hasn't played enough to know the value of minors. Because, well, like, Solski was their team.
It sounds sarcastic when I say that, but it's not. Like, at this stage, you know, you want 3 to 5 at least.
Like last year, they had Derp instead of Andy.
Depending on your skill level.
And they got to top 4.
Alright, what do we got here? Azure going in wave gate.
But, like,
Solski still.
also, Duck, that is what I was trying to convey to you. Okay, I honestly, I need to put time into learning the setup. I just don't do the setup because I haven't properly put time into it. But I feel like now I could benefit from the setup, whereas before I was better off winging it for the wave gate.
So that's how things happen.
But yeah, this is what I was trying to say to you, Duck, about
I can't do the voice, but I can do the
SMZ3
content of what he
not
says.
preparing players very well for SM Rando, because you have to be aware of the values of things like major versus minor checks, or how to like leverage things in countdown. The area transitions are just not a thing in SMZ3. It's a whole different ball game here, and we've drifted away from. Like, we basically never done any mode in SM for real serious competition that maps very well to SMZ3, because if you did that for SM, it would just be full. You just have, like, SM Rat, basically. And that is pretty competitively terrible. It's just your second crack at SM Rando. I mean, like, I feel like you took it seriously, though. I feel like you're taking it more seriously than other players. So anyways, I just, like, I get this power bomb here. I discovered during this match, I didn't know this before, but this is my first time realizing that in one of the newer updates to the Varia Randomizer, they took out the door cap for some things like that specific Firefly farm room, a bunch of saves, and I think some energy/missile refills they took the door cap off of, so you weren't stuck needing a missile or whatever.
Right, Solski is definitely a buff eggplant. Grapes have nothing to do with it.
So this is blue? What do you mean?
Check the item. And now he can't.
Did they say something on comms?
The game taketh and giveth.
Slutters is blue?
But wait, there's more.
Oh.
Billy Mays, left of Billy Mays.
Not Slutters the person, okay. Yeah, I don't like all these extra changes.
One of the comms,
Most of them are unnecessary, and some of them are just like, I don't know, get good at resource management, please.
I don't know if I'd say gray.
Like, I feel like with some of these changes, I'm now being punished for having vanilla knowledge, you know?
Things and or stuff is good.
So Solski does wavegate better than I did.
Yes.
Yeah, we still have our entire yellow door, yeah.
There's a very nice thing.
Like, it's, I really don't think it's that big of a deal to take that out and have you get the rest of the access to Red Tower. Like, so Archipelago had a bug for a long time in its multi-worlds that it wasn't like, it didn't expect you to have Morph Ball to open Power Bomb doors. So people would just like get incompletable seeds all the time, and most of them were due to the Red Tower door.
Brought to you by non-copyrighted
Anyways,
please subscribe.
so this is just Solski and I doing kind of the same things in the reverse order.
Really good at pressing buttons on the Nintendo
My routing here was better.
Also, on tracking, we
Like,
have
my route here worked out better.
and Ace is also
It's more
super good
efficient to do it in this order.
and they're all very good.
And I
people,
also had
so,
better movement.
Serious note, yes.
Hi,
shout out
Host
to all
Finger.
of them. Thank you for being here.
I hear everyone talking about RE4 Remake.
What do you got at the top of Green Bryn here?
Okay, so the save that I took here, I specifically wanted to develop a habit of taking this save for the Green Bryn elevator, because I used to not. Also, I'm really happy about the missile shots I got in those crabs. I didn't have to stop at all, and that's huge for suitless movement.
This is
Just being able to continue my run all the way through.
Bar Astor we're talking about here. He pities the fool that doesn't do what he does.
Pity's the fool that
I'm glad people are enjoying the A-team references.
Could be a one-way trip. I'm assuming with that fast
But yeah,
reset
like,
without
it's specifically that transition. Specifically, I don't really care about a whole lot of, I guess, like anything in West Meridia, whether you get Main Street or whether you get top of Everest.
Hey, I am not about to curse.
Still mad at Ace for ruining A-team. How do you ruin it?
When both runners win. That's my hope for this seed.
Yes, the end of the seed. The end of the seed will be 111.11 for both of them.
Pure objectivity.
But yeah, the fact that I was able to like get this in one, because like a lot of times, if I forget to save in Greenburn elevator, and I go up the elevator and I see a West Meridia funnel, I'm just like, well, I don't really want to check this. I want to just kind of, I don't want to ride the elevator down, save, and then ride it back up again.
Item locations, so we don't have the full item tomfoolery like we did in week 2. Just major minor. Full area rando. Bosses are shuffled around.
I don't like the uncapitalization, honestly.
Meme route. And so
I don't like it for the. Also, like the T should be capitalized in the team name, because that's how I submitted it. I don't know why it's not capitalized on the restreams.
And a really good Asder, playing some Super Metroid. You haven't missed much.
But yeah, I think Solski here had to go back and save.
Yeah, Astro's, I would say, yeah. Mentions in chat. I would say Astro's a little bit ahead because I feel like
after
but that might dwindle now if
yeah, so Solski is like, ah shit, I have a West Meridia funnel, and I think he decides here he's gonna save, go back up the elevator again, and then check it, and that's just really slow. But it's like, it's really valuable to have that info. And I think the transition led to back a wreck ship, and that was huge. That was absolutely huge for me when I got to the point where I wanted to go West Meridia for doing the wreck ship boss. And I was like, where's my last 50-50 gonna be? Because it was down to like, I had 2 dead ends left, and it was 50-50 for Croc or Cray to be at either
they both have and they're both functional, so at the end they can go
right side Everest or front of wreck ship. Here's me, you'd bail on this check since you have enough other places to check. Which check?
Azur's routing actually works out really awesome here, way better than Solski's in terms of checking this major, because Azur did the meme route and all
West Meridia check.
and then ended up with that screw attack, which makes this way.
You'd bail on it?
Yeah,
if you didn't save. Oh yeah, that's what I usually do if I forget to save. But the point is, I think there's a, like, most of the time, a lot of the time, you'll be able to find out this transition later from like the other side or something like that. But here it leads to a dead end, so you can't. So like, if you're not in a good position to follow this funnel, you just hope that the info isn't valuable. But in the cases where it is, it's usually extremely valuable. And it was important to me here was developing the habit of making sure I have a save in case the situation arises.
We will be here a while.
So I think we just got charged at Gauntlet.
He had enough PBs when he was up there to actually get out of Gauntlet. He may have only had 1 pack then, so it would have been pointless.
But yeah, okay, so what would have happened towards the end of the match if I didn't... If I didn't... brain stopped working. If I didn't have that info, that back of wreck ship was there, then what would I have done?
And we say coup, so, you know, it works out.
I think I would have gone there blind once I had gravity. Or, like, actually, like, I might not have known where to check for wreck ship. Because you cannot find the other entrance since it's a dead end, and I wouldn't have known it was a dead end. So I'd probably still go West Meridia. And I probably still do Crab Hole first because it's closer. I end up not checking right side Everest first. And that was Kraid's Lair, which I needed to do first. Did I never find West Meridia again?
just give commentator blessings. No
It was the only way into Rec Ship.
allowed.
You had to go there again.
It's not intentional, I promise. 'Cause the
Yeah,
only
okay, so
person
I
in
like
the
doing
is the hash for
I
bot
like
that seed.
doing palette shuffle on an aspect of the game that is randomized to like remind me that, like, it's a subtle cue for my brain that I need to deal with stuff in the environment differently. So for area randomizer, I do palette shuffle on the level data. For boss randomizer, I do palette shuffle on the enemies.
Red tower a little bit.
Nevdi thought I would X-ray deboost.
Yeah.
I don't think Nevdi knows me that well.
Up the elevator.
Okay, yeah, maybe Duck, but
Oh, Crocland.
Ooh, croc, huh?
Or at least
knowing the
Croc
info
Sport.
this early can help me
Yeah, I think
determine later in the game whether I should make going back to West Meridian a priority or not. I'm not sure if that came up with the layout of this match or not,
Yeah,
but it just like helps me. It can help you make smarter decisions, and I think against like really good players that can make the difference. Like against someone like Zeb, for instance,
turquoise Bryn,
and probably Kip to an extent. That's huge.
aqua Bryn, yeah.
Okay, so I decided to go up Red Tower. This is my first trip into Red Tower from the mid section, and I kind of hate being there because it's like, it's harder to decide whether you're going up or down. So I think I went up because, so like, the major is down Red Tower.
They're pretty much even again.
I went up first here because I decided I was going to try and get the knowledge of those two transitions and elect not to follow them and prioritize a transition that was down here instead.
So as they're keeping the pipe in check.
I would hold off on
So like not having the major for the top transitions of Red Tower, I wasn't so worried about that, even if it was like a suit, because whatever is at the top of Red Tower, I wanted to just deprioritize in general, because the back and forth for going to the bottom and then back to the top is longer than just going top and then back to the bottom. Why not break pipe first? I don't break the tube first because tube is the hardest entrance to backtrack to, as in like if I broke this first and I decided I wanted to follow it, find the jump from the right side pretty easy. I haven't practiced it much, and I don't want to be forced to do it.
But it would be a gamble, so you don't have a save close by, so you go check that.
I will buy it's not that hard, but it's definitely like a weakness for me. So I'd rather know all the other transitions first and then do this, so that like I can pick the tube transition to follow with the most information and not leave info behind. So I guess that's like might be a way to predict what I do if you're facing me is, you know, I'm probably gonna favor following the tube transition, whatever it is. Now the lucky thing, I don't remember the full like area layout of this because I don't have my tracker up for this. I'm not tracking this right now. Might be better to try and do for the future, but I'm not watching Solski enough either, because I mostly know what I did, but I think I kind of tuned out of Solski and I realized like my first my opener is better than his.
Better start working hard now to keep up with them.
Yep. I'm like the turtle.
So logically, I was kind of screwed. I realized going down Red Tower that
For those that don't know, we do have.
What I think I should have done was I think there was some upper Norfair transition at the top of Red Tower,
7 teams apiece.
and I had basically no good transitions left.
Division rivals. One per week, and then there's an extra week
that were not also upper Norfair.
that they
Like all the stuff I had left was stuff like one side of lower Norfair, which I couldn't do, or like parts of Meridian I couldn't do, whatever. And going down Red Tower, it was pretty likely that it was all going to be unusable entrances down here. So that was actually, I felt in retrospect that was a mistake. I should have just ignored the bottom of Red Tower entirely once I went up and saw my upper Norfair entrance there, and I should have just hoped that my upper Norfair exploration would get me back to the bottom of Red Tower, because I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but there was an extremely fucking good chance that when I got to the bottom of Red Tower here, I was going to have 3 unusable entrances, and I was just going to have to go all the way back up. So I was lucky that the out of logic tube entrance also led to upper Norfair. It could have just been a fucking dead end. So I kind of got bailed out. That was like one of the biggest like quote unquote mistakes that I feel like I made, but it just kind of worked out in my favor. Like it's something that if I had more time to think about, and if I faced the situation again, I would try to just follow one of the top Red Tower entrances. You know, I decided that wasn't what I was going to do.
I mean, Mr. IP. Okay, I'm checking right now because now I feel bad about not giving you the right division.
Not purple, but I am green. And Solski has a green crown stem thing.
Is in Meridian. And the A team is in Norfair.
The power suit eggplant actually looks a lot like like it's got the same colors as Kaizo Gravity, basically.
A lot in the long run about who gets into the playoffs or not, but you want to.
Yeah. Okay. So Solski went down Red Tower first. It looked like. Actually, hold on. Let me see.
The A team.
This is Solski's first time checking top of Red Tower. Yeah. Okay. So he chose to go down first.
A lot. The A team has yet to lose this year. Yeah, they're doing a great job, and Muscle Club is also.
So I think the way Solski routed Red Tower worked out very well for him, and.
Called the Muscle Club because they're weak, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're not called that because they're weak. They have a lot of radio experience. They have
I would have like technically preferred it to what I did.
So.
I wouldn't have gone down though, because I really do want to save that tube entrance for last. I just feel most comfortable leaving that one for last. Okay, so this capture setup I have actually kind of worries me, because hard resetting isn't something that I do a lot in speedruns. But in Randomizer, I'm afraid that I'm going to hard reset, and then like the feed is just not going to pick up again. And that's kind of not acceptable. I need to find another capture solution. Because my dazzle does not work properly on Windows 11.
Well, I mean, with 30, well, they have 30 supers. So
it's just kind of a ballsy crystal flash setup to go for.
That's not the first option you want to see. You'd rather see Dragon suitless than Ridley with only 4 tanks.
Not that I didn't have the save, like that was fine. But
I don't think Solski wants to see Dragon anytime yet.
I just like calculated where I'd probably end up, and I trusted that it was correct.
At this moment.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Pretty safe with gravity though, like you just take so much less damage.
Yeah, like Derp mentioned in chat that the Ridley fight is actually doable for Asdra. So. I don't think Asdra has anything to fear from any of the bosses at this point now. I mean, yeah, it's not.
And Screwtech, yeah.
But it's doable.
Screwtech's really good.
Yeah, it's if you're Solski here,
I think I did Ice Beam check here first, because
nice E-tank bailout on
if A screw tech is really nice to have, let's say.
And Solski getting his boots, his booties.
Like, it's really valuable for
Really bright
varioless.
high top boots on now. That would be cooler.
It will tip decisions on, like, it'll tip some decisions on whether I do lower Norfair or not.
I would enjoy that, yes. I don't know why I would enjoy that, but I would enjoy that.
That is the fastest iceless
Like they took the time
ice escape setup, I think.
to change the graphic of Samus for one suit, but like almost nothing else. Is like, come on, you should have shown us cool stuff every item.
Ooh, the Spood Beaster by Asder, and that's exactly how you pronounce it. Spood Beaster.
I love the Spood Beaster. I mean, you definitely want the Spood Beaster down here in Norfair because you can Spood Beast.
I know a team of coaches.
Spoodway, and make it back.
Speed at high jump and high jump at speed. I didn't notice that. That's funny.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yes, and then you don't have to deal with Cathedral anymore. With all that Spood.
Yeah.
Fucking snorting on comms.
Yeah, and someone in chat wait, hold up, you can shoot those blocks in high jump? Normally
not...
you can't. In vanilla you can't.
Hey Kev.
Make some changes to make
Are you asked to do this like
so
specifically because of your injury and you doing the
We're not cooking a turkey,
non-gameplay stuff?
Like a beast, like a giant.
Oh wait, hold on. What was that transition?
That you wouldn't want to come across. It's not the Spood Beaster.
Oh, it was Turian. Okay.
Turkey. It's the Spood Beaster. Like a beast, like a giant enemy that you wouldn't want to come across. But you have Spood, so you can deal with the beast. Anyway, back to things that make.
And this was back of East Meridian.
Words because I'm not so good at those.
Words.
Thank you.
Words are good. Words say things. And look at that tiny eggplant waiting a crystal flash.
Salty Pigeon says speed beaster every comms that he does.
And we just get eggplant orb.
That is a sprite. That is definitely a sprite for sure.
It makes you want to go to
I kind of liked it, but yeah, I do expect it to get old for me soon.
Decision here.
Look at that. Azure found the back of East Meridian.
So this is nice because I know where the front of East Meridian goes already. The problem is I forgot that I knew the front already.
No reason to go down here.
When I got there, like I like autopiloted checking the transition.
And now this is a fun change. Anyone who's not Azure's going down the toilet here probably.
Oh, I almost got a really good a screw attack deboost here.
Only true in area randos where this door here will.
It just barely didn't make it, and I was pretty happy I got that deboost to work at all.
Something completely out of context. If you play Crackdown 2 on Xbox, and you climb to the top of like the tower, the good guy tower or whatever, you can dive off and jump into a silo and land directly in a real toilet. So if you didn't know about that, that's pretty silly. And yeah, you can do that on your Xbox.
Well, I guess this toilet's a futuristic one because I've never seen a toilet that looks like that, but that's what we call it.
I'm watching like so much of my own screen because I'm the one that's ahead. I feel like I should probably watch Solski more. Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna check this transition. And I was like, oh yeah, I knew this already. Whoops.
I don't know. I'm still just surprised that we haven't seen a boss transition 30 minutes in. Normally you find at least one of them. Solski getting the gravity, and now obviously they both want to fight.
So I wanted to do Sandpit here in case it was Varia for Ridley.
They're gonna be.
Not that I needed it really, but
Absolutely. We've seen
knowing that like it just would have made it safer. I think there's probably some matchups where I would not have done the check for Varia here. And I would have only done it on the way out.
Maybe, just a little.
Maybe? Actually, I don't know, because like...
That might be...
Yeah. because you can still play for Varia being at the Meridia boss.
Well, we're all volunteers.
That's
Yeah, exactly. Pay grade is it's easy to be above that.
that has the highest possible value in terms of payoff. It's not like the highest. That's not the highest EV necessarily, but it's the fastest possible result you can get. Is just ignoring the sandpit, having Varia be at Bottoon or Meridia boss. But I decided that I wanted the chance at Varia in case this was Ridley. And I think some people in chat were saying that. Yeah, Zeb says, yeah, I wouldn't have saved before left pit because I want one more tank for Ridley anyways. I was thinking about that as I was resetting.
Seen what boss room connects to what actual boss
I fell. Yeah, it looks like I fell and I
That is true. We haven't seen a single boss room yet.
was just like, eh. Because like Ridley I can do on
Not a big boss.
5 and 1,
No bot wounds,
but it's not really that comfy.
no problem.
Yeah, the only place this leads is
Okay, so Solski is following me with gravity.
It's randomized.
so randomized. Ooh, space jump might mean that's the
Solski's just way behind, and I'm not.
Yeah. Right before
I need to like
Coliseum.
get used to
And we got
rewatching
the
these so I
bot
can
wound.
like watch him more closely. But
Coliseum, cathedral, amphitheater. They're all like big rooms that are wide open.
I think that's only one of the 56 vanilla bots.
okay, Solski should learn how to do the wall jump climb. from underneath.
Matches between everyone, so that would be what, 112 bot wounds. So I'm
Also, that Puyo fucked me so hard. Oh my god.
I have to make a quick correction. We got a correction in chat. It's not space jump. I apologize. It's spoosh jump. That's what it's called.
Jump. Okay.
Spoosh jump.
It's kind of like the Spood Beaster, but a little more jumpier.
Yeah, very much jumpier. Much jumpier.
Where is my water? Why do I keep losing things? So normally I would have like gone for full halfy here, but
And Solski
says chat.
and Solski
I knew I
getting
didn't
his
want
Spood
to
Beaster,
expend the health.
he's
and
gonna
having
be
space
all over
jump.
his Spood.
It's mostly fine too.
Yes, Crate is coming up here.
Like full halfy does not save that much time over just space jumping Coliseum.
How did he get there though? Kraid doesn't have a gravity suit.
No, but he's just so big that he just walked.
So I think Solski has basically done mostly the same route that I have, but has just done things a little bit more
Water because maybe Kraid
inefficiently and also a little bit slower.
big lizard butt right in the middle of the pool of Meridia.
I don't know what we're allowed to say, Cassidy. I really don't. Maybe the uncopyrighted spoosh jump, if that's even a thing. Oh, it's Ridley.
Oh, there it is.
So
Yeah,
obviously,
This
what we
Ridley
want
fight
to see
was
here-
like,
definitely.
he was unreasonably nice to me.
What he's gonna look like after changes colors here in a minute. That coloring on Ridley actually is a lot more scary to me than the red.
Like, I remember chat saying this fight was really clean, but if he didn't just like
I really like
do that,
Yeah, I guess
if he didn't cooperate with those pogos there,
Asder doing a beautiful job.
I still did it right, but like I considered that part to be trivial at my level.
Yeah, that
Um,
it's over already.
Like what I'm saying is that like
Gonna get a quick item check and then get out of here before. Oh, energy.
if Ridley was more rude to me,
A good one.
I'd be very happy. To
I
see
would be a lot less likely to handle it correctly compared to like other good players.
Miss input on the way
He's
out.
got reserves to get out anyway.
I thought I only
that's a
had
nice
one.
refill.
It's been a long time since I've like properly grinded RBO and learned stuff for it, and
Yeah, but what if he pressed the button?
I need to like do that one of these years. Okay, Wample Jump here is nice. I was happy about that.
Okay, that's a fair point.
But yeah, it does happen. every once in a while.
Yeah, Asder's way better at pressing buttons than I am.
Now Solski wondering, do I do it? Do I don't do it? I don't know. I'm going back and forth.
And I bonked the door for
I am a little sad that we're not going to get to see
going
the
back through
red,
Bottoon.
although I'm guessing it's probably red.
That's
Just a
any
guess.
percent rest.
That's a good question.
What's Solski's other option
I
here?
would think Solski
Wait,
tried
oh
to
yeah,
do
Solski. Okay, so this is
actually
like
in the interview with
Solski was already
Barry.
behind, and I don't think there was any way for him to catch up,
Maybe we have
anyways.
to do
But
a gravity jump somewhere. We might get to see it.
the
after
fact that he's not following
if he gets and doesn't
East Meridia here
tank it up and strong arm
is
his way through Lower Norfair. Definitely a
Well,
possibility as well.
He is going through the frog spoodway.
just like, I think it's just straight up not good.
As you're back in Green Brand.
Like, what's he gonna do? Go to wreck ship, and then get dead ended?
I wonder, is this maybe a waterway check?
His only win condition is find Varia, and I make mistakes skipping it.
Score spawn and wants to fight
True, I could still like die and shit, but like I think even if he die, like Tracy, I think that's true. If he followed the same route that I did, well, unknowingly, I guess.
Plasma. Okay.
Or is he like? Are you saying he's trying to create divergence? Because like, there's times when like the weaker player can create divergence successfully, but then there's time where it's just like, this like this divergent Solski is going for is like he's likely to find Varia slower than
So it looks like
okay.
Solski's gonna check out Mama Turtle.
Ooh, that's nice. We haven't seen that check yet. Come on, Varia.
Not in the mood to be charitable to him.
Racing.
Throwing up one of
I
those
have
spood to get up there faster.
had those moods for sure.
The spood beast all the way up. Although, yeah, without grapple.
I mean, yeah, you could hang on to the turtle, but
So I guess he's hoping for Varia to be here. Where was Lower Norfair in relation to all this? I can't remember.
not as good as Autumn Ball, but it works.
Um,
Summer Ball is way too hot. Fall ball, everybody! It's sports ball time.
No, the fall ball is space jump. Honestly.
so I think like here I had
Nope, not
my
really.
decisions were basically they need to mark one of the bosses off of my tracker,
Space, I call it space
which like bosses are kind of hard to track, I will say. So,
Get it?
Oh my goodness, check this out. As they're
but like if Varia was here and
decided
Solski got it, I would have just gotten it like
With, even with the space jump.
like 10 seconds after him, anyways.
Grab, just like, nah, no thank you.
So this play wouldn't have helped him regardless.
It's okay.
And the reason I didn't grab Spring Ball because it was too far out of the way relative to how useful it was.
Well, I think
Um,
Tracy's favorite two items are space jump and.
If Spring Ball was
so
closer,
I think she would just grab.
I would have grabbed
every
it.
single time, right? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, even though I'm very rarely wrong, as we've all learned.
Well, look at this here.
I think maybe it's about even because I do remember it would have saved time.
Space fall. And
I wasn't concerned about LN. I have 20 PBs. I wasn't concerned about that at
They're
all.
both in the same room, so this is obviously a tie.
I had Screw Attack. I had Speed Booster.
Oh,
I
Ace,
was just
Ridley
not very concerned.
is dead for
I
Astor,
had X-Ray.
off the tracker on Astor's side.
Might have saved a little time over using those things, but I just like whatever.
bosses, honestly.
It's not like it's wrong to grab it, but I don't think it's wrong to skip it either here. Like if it was like the reason I just didn't want to grab, and like I didn't have a lot of time to decide either because I was like airborne and space jump is the other thing.
X-ray.
I didn't have a lot of time to like sit there and decide whether I was picking that up or not.
Azur's gonna just
So I made a quick calculation and I decided not to pick it up. Because the thing with the Mama Turtle, when you're space jumping up to it, is you have to go up to touch it, and then you spend more time falling on the way back down.
I like to put those Totino's pizza rolls.
And I wanted to start falling as soon as possible.
Say, those breaded like things with pizza ingredient stuff in the middle, and I heat them up.
Someone
They're really
trademarked
yummy.
pizza. You can't call
It's just easier to grab any major you see.
You gotta call it tomato cheese bread.
Probably true.
Tomato cheese bread
I
sauce
think about
rolls.
this a lot for like if I'm facing very, very high level players. Like, I worry about minutiae for like Kip and Zost and just people like that.
Not trivial. They both went in about the same time. And
For like 41 tier players,
had to do the fight the old-fashioned way.
like 41 level and 8% players, I kind of worry about a
Just
bit
how much am I going to
less
help you
because
or hurt you. Asder might
I
have a
don't-
tummy ache after all this microwave.
I don't trust a lot of their
It's hard to say.
Calamari.
Yeah.
I don't trust a lot of their random
Solski
decisions
put it
as
on the
much.
stove and fried it up, and used cooking oil and all that. So
All the microwave options do not sound very appetizing to me. Microwave shrimp, microwave calamari, like.
yeah, that doesn't sound great.
No, I prefer the fried.
Zost, I don't think has like the best rando meta knowledge, but
I think I'm getting a little.
Zost's
talking about it.
execution makes up for that a lot better
Yes,
than
I would
like some of the 41 players. And I trust his rando decisions a little bit better than theirs as well.
Now I can go to ship. So, just on a boss rush now for Azure, just trying to find the bosses, find the spots.
Yeah, I already got rid of Ridley. But Ridley was at Dragon's spot, so we're gonna have to find LN and get through that. Crystal Flash ammo is looking pretty good though.
Zost is also better at adapting room strats, I think. So I think people like Cutie and Sephi, I think, are not as good at like
Cool thing with Fantune Dead on Boss
adapting room strats with different equipment on the fly. I felt like that was my advantage over Cutie and Bingo.
Where do they put those?
Zost runs a lot of categories too. Yeah.
Metroid
I don't know.
boss classified as?
I feel like he got really bored once he like had all the main category records and was just like, I'm gonna do all these
Maybe
extension
Maybe
categories.
Community, where just the four of them talk about where they want to go.
Yeah, and I've never seen any of the bosses.
Yeah, like he has the ability to.
Green Gate.
He has the ability for stuff like that, but
Axel Higgs, great.
yeah.
Why don't you come on up here and take over?
So Solski is finally like
Beat me in the
crawling back to this portal. Oh, Solski hasn't done Meridia. So he's behind me in Wreck Ship, and he also hasn't done Meridia.
Just another E tank.
Oh, Ace
That's
said it
good.
first. All right, well,
Oh, Ace said it.
all right,
Okay.
Ace, get in here. We'll switch places, and I'll screw up the track here.
Yeah, Ace is already on track, and so it's easier to get Ace in here.
So the one like route mistake that I just really disagree with how I handled was not following the red tower upper entrance blindly.
I've definitely regretted skipping.
And the fact that I didn't do that,
I'll never do again.
I got bailed out from that anyways, and I got basically the same result
But we won't talk about that yet.
as if I had thought
I was just arrogant. I was like, I don't need
to do it.
I've already done so and so.
So
I needed it. And I was like, oh.
And you probably already had.
okay, so here I'm somewhat embarrassed by this.
Yeah, farm. Sleep on the farm.
God, I was thinking real hard about whether I wanted to check this major or not.
Okay, Solski checking right supers.
No, I was not. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking,
And he's checking.
but it was just like,
He's checking it like 7 seconds before.
yeah, it's just standard to go right first. I don't know how I was overthinking it so hard that I didn't do the
Definitely.
Yeah.
standard thing.
And it gives you more Spood Beaster health.
I tricked myself into thinking the standard thing was to do left first somehow. So my mind was just like, okay, that's probably not Varia. If it is Varia, I won't need a power bomb in left side. Super. But it's unlikely to be Varia, so I probably want this power bomb anyway, so I'll just get the left side first.
Down here.
So I tricked myself into doing left side first, even though it's not more efficient to like like if I played more any percent going left first, it would have made more sense.
The hardest boss.
Yeah, and that's why I've like kind of tried to avoid playing vanilla categories during these tournaments. I mean, I had any percent runs when I was like deep into rando tourneys. I had like an any percent run.
Competent perfectionist is gonna
Maybe one or two even, where I just fucking forgot to do Wreck Ship Left Sweeper. Did I forget to do Wreck Ship? I think I had one where I forgot to pick up Wreck Ship Left Sweeper. And I had one where I just autopiloted straight to right super and I got it. And I was like, oh fuck, I wasn't supposed to do this. And then I picked up left super because I think that's still worth it. Like, I think it's still fast enough that to have 15 there. Shoutouts to Azure and some of the scouts, crab supers and rando. Yep. And no, you mean in vanilla, right? Or do you actually mean like?
Is Remember Highway a different spot? Oh, okay, no, I just always assumed it was a meme off of Forgotten.
Okay, you don't get the opportunity to do that. Okay, I see. This was a big brain fart. I have. Yeah, that's the joke.
He already did waterway check. That's usually the last thing to go in Green Brent. Unless you're lucky enough to get speed. Ooh, all right, we got some good.
So that was a total brain fart, me going down the elevator there. I knew exactly where I wanted to go, but I mentally checked out, and my brain just didn't go to here.
And then give us various suit.
And then I sparked the wrong way because I tricked myself into like my brain was like a little bit of a mess here. Not a huge mess, but a lot of it was just like.
We know we're spring, ball, and space jump bar, so it's.
My focus here was on calculating the correct route and making sure that like my pathing.
Not your first choice at this point.
I was making sure that my intentions on where to go were correct, and I was focusing on that so much that I didn't actually move Samus in the directions that I was supposed to go. I was autopiloting through the areas and ways that you would often just go.
It's because my cat is here, not because I'm allergic to it.
I just usually hate to find ice.
I think I did this at like a Red Tower elevator at some point.
Okay, great. Now I have to shoot everything twice. Yay. But
well, actually, Dr. Acceleron, ice saves you 3.48 hours in Torian. You were close, but that was a good guess.
It's basically over, Baja.
Oh yeah, those PBs are nice. That's gonna be
I made one thing that I think was like a really subtle routing mistake.
And I wonder what
it was like less of a mistake than more like it's hard for me to explain right now. The only thing I felt I did wrong was that so when I got to Red Tower, I got there via the midsection.
It's either Ganon,
and usually I go straight up, check the transitions, say I'm not going to follow it and just want the knowledge, and then go down, clean up the major, and then check all those transitions and try to prioritize following the tube.
Yeah, I think it is going to be the Deku Tree. That's who you have to fight.
Although Lemmy could also be down.
Lemmy, yeah.
But since I'm like tracking areas on my spreadsheet,
Koopa Paratrooper. Maybe just
the thing I realized as I was going back down Red Tower, I found an upper north entrance at the top of Red Tower, and
stacked on top of each other.
Out of the entrances I had left, I had so many entrances that could be at the bottom of Red Tower that I could not do, that it was extremely likely that I would get dead-ended and just have to go all the way back up, and it would have been smarter to just blindly follow the upper northern entrance that I found at the top and hope that another northern entrance loops back to the bottom. I got lucky, and the out of logic high jump plus tube check just took me to another upper northern entrance, so I got really lucky there. And it was like a really small deal. But that's like that kind of thing could matter a lot more against like a really difficult opponent, especially one that's like really good at area and like will make that calculation better.
Yeah.
Problem is like finding Varia in a dumb location doesn't even say Solski here. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I have disliked a lot of the like go really far out of the way for Varia plays. Like my week 6 against Bressingham last tourney. I died doing that Lone Warfare, but like
you get some extra power bombs there.
Because it was light area, like I figured whatever was at Shack Tool had to either be Varia or had to be like ice and speed leading to Varia at Meridia boss. And I didn't want a Crystal Flash Cut. I didn't want to have the run hinge on that. And also, by the time I got this information, East Meridia was really fucking far away from where I was. So I'm like, I know for sure Shack Tool is blocking Varia in some way. It's like the only thing I have left. But it's still like, it's so slow to go for it. Because light area just fucking can... Light area can loop so badly. Or like just have like long strings that are just, like, you know what I mean? Now the thing is, because I died twice in that match, it would have been faster for me to go pick up Varia at Shack Tool. And because I knew kind of exactly where it was.
But at least for this,
like I just
microwave.
I think like if Bressingham makes the Lone Warfare play and doesn't die at the start of the seed, if he makes the Lone Warfare play without Varia, and I don't make it, and he doesn't die, then I lose. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it. And I think someone in chat was saying that, like for these settings,
I want to know what that speed boost spark is.
This E-Tank was so nice.
Wow, that's a friendly E-Tank right there for Azure. That's like...
I just ended up not having to... I'm not sure if I would have farmed up another CF anyways. I might have just taken the one CF here and ran. I think my resources were good enough. But that E-Tank just made this completely free.
Azure's looking great on ammo too, like plenty of ammo. Like...
I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, someone was saying that gravity is really powerful in these settings, and that like it's really good to hinge on skipping Varia. Not having gravity just like makes it really ass to check West Meridia as a hub.
Let's see here. Let me carry the 1, 0. Yeah, something like that.
Gravity just opens the map for you so much better. Varia is usually the thing you want to skip.
Yeah, this is a cool play.
Alright, see a duck. Okay, so this spot here, that's the one place that Springball would have benefited me, basically.
Find Varia. Well, if you've got the skills, then this is the play to make. And looks like, you know...
So I was pretty okay with skipping it, but also like I didn't have infinite time for the calculation. But I suppose there's probably a point that like I do default to just grabbing majors a lot. For instance, Waterway, because of the camera not following you
Randomizer race.
quickly enough. Waterway is a really hard major to not faceplant.
Azure versus Solski.
And I just end up faceplanting it all the time. That one I'm more okay with.
Okay,
It's like Spazer or whatever. You have to unequip that later.
No. Okay. They haven't found the hook shot.
But something like Mama Turtle, where I've got like a limited amount of time to process the information, it is a decent candidate for just grabbing. Getting a reserve tank there. Well, like it depends how you see it though, because like if your intention's to grapple to it,
not too tight if you're good.
With a space.
I don't know. And then there's some things that like Springball is more of an edge case because Springball is less clear. It's less immediately clear whether picking up Springball is going to save time in the rest of your game or not. There's a lot more factors that go into that decision.
Torian, or or is that a different seed I'm thinking about? Because I've seen so many at this point.
Or something like Spazers, just like, oh, do you have Plasma? Do you still maybe have Suitless Meridian on the table? It's more of an easy question.
Door was actually Torian at this point, but I've watched so.
So Solski is like running around back and forth.
Okay.
You always, yeah, but it wasn't early. It wasn't early in this seed.
It's about to head into the final battle.
I was in the middle. Probably the most difficult to decide, but
the final countdown.
Gravity kind of made the decision for me. In more ways than one. Like having gravity suit, obviously, but also like physical gravity. It's like, oh well, I'm just gonna fall instead. I guess.
All the wrong notes, and all the wrong words.
Here's a way to get people to tune into your broadcast. Sing off key.
Oh yeah, but like people do it for memes, and I'm very, very pragmatic when I play these.
We got some super fun powerbomb Metroid action going on in Torian right now. Nice grouping though.
Final Fantasy is actually one of my favorite songs. I used it in a high school project way back in the day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Magic shows now, thanks to Arrested
Development. You have you probably talk about your opinions on stuff like this more than average. Okay, so I fucked up this room and I didn't realize why, but Zeb pointed out that I screw attacked the Rinka that was supposed to be like the index 0 Rinka that causes the power bomb to hit all of them. So I need to make sure that I don't.
Well, I'll look it up. It's always nice to have something new to watch.
It's probably on.
But I don't hit it. I'm honestly, I probably won't do this. Solski doesn't know about the fucking power bombs in Aqueduct. The blocks being changed to regular bomb blocks. Which is fine. It's a really fucking obscure change, honestly. It's obscure and it's kind of for a dumb reason.
Someone tried the Shazam, it's the final cinnamon roll book. That's great. I told you, get your hand off my dessert.
I mean, you could use that in court, like.
I didn't get like a ton valuable out of rewatching this, and I didn't expect to. And I already rewatched it once. But I think this was good practice for like watching back a seed again. It's gonna be harder like next week if I decide to do this because I'll have 2 matches of my own to do and there'll be 4 screens. So it's gonna be a fucking mess, but getting my brain accustomed to like processing this info. Solski running past space jump. Yeah, this is like a tough one because like often I want to run past this right away. If it's like an E-tank. Like if I don't need an E-tank, and I'm assuming it's most likely going to be an E-tank, I just run past this and I'm like, shit, I want that. And then there's like no good option but to stop at the other end, turn back and speed boost through all of it again. So I think it's fine that he did that. I think I didn't because I was like, I just didn't feel like, I wanted to give my brain a bit of a rest. Because when you're running past that item, you have to like figure out if it's something you need really fast and react to it. Yeah, that too. Like space jump, or like an item I'd want for whatever boss might be here. I will get, and then like most other things, I'll just leave. Ice is an item that I often leave there and then go back for. But then like you also have to remember to. Depending on whether you're going through CAC Alley or not, that's also a factor. Because if your plan is to go out CAC Alley after, then you're just like you can't make it faster to get on the way back. You gotta get on the way in. So there's a lot of like little things like that that are like you can kind of calculate in your brain.
The heat damage is piling up.
Like, you can argue the merits of just beelining that bot to an E-Tank item versus
Oh, he doesn't have
seeing it.
Yeah, that's
Okay, it looks like he survived this fight.
Okay.
I was kind of
We know that there's an E-Tank
skeptical. Did he not go into full supers? Like, what happened here?
Hopefully they
Is he doing beam shots for?
Solski can get out. This is gonna
One
be tight.
drops. Yeah, no, he'll be fine.
Okay, there's
The drops saved him there. Yes.
definitely.
Oh my god, that spring bounce didn't make him collide with the E-Tank.
Like,
That's
we
funny.
all know Astor's that
It's like almost left the room without
we
it.
don't want to see you drop one here.
God, what a flex that would have been, right? Like, just like,
But yeah, this like
out of
not to shit on the comms either, but this commentary isn't like I didn't. There's no like valuable feedback from it. Just like it's like it's like fine. We need people to do the job, and it wasn't like.
especially at this point, if Solski doesn't find Plasma going to Mother Brain with Charge Ice Phaser, yeah, it's like it's okay, but it's definitely not ideal. So
Like, you know what I mean?
less time.
You think you'd lost knowledge of the game from the comms? Yeah, they're not gonna pick up on things that would be useful to me.
Sure, but I mean, thinking.
And then when I calm, it's just like I have so much information about what's going on screen, and I can't like figure out which
That baby looks vanilla.
which of it is like actually worth saying, so I just don't say anything.
Middle started looking
I'm gonna ask Android Dreams if the next time he runs this game with Ronald McDonald.
Like, my brain is in overdrive trying to process both these screens at once, and also the stream chat, and also talking to my own chat.
tower.
And now we just have an escape.
I think what I'm gonna do for like if I review next week's matches, I think what I want to do is like I'm gonna try to do them blind, or I didn't already watch it. I'm gonna try to do them closer to when the match happened, so that I remember more about it, like in my head. And I'm gonna be like pausing the video a lot more because I want to like I want to like pay enough attention to like what the other players did.
We don't expect any less, but it's still not easy to.
Friday's D-Web and Salty, and D-Web is good, yeah.
Well, we have a little bit of time.
Yeah, D-Web will have insightful things to say.
Please shout out to.
He's like D-Web is really knowledgeable for someone who doesn't like play. I think he plays a bit of rando casually. Like he sent me an SMZ3 seed once, but
Are very talented, run a lot of rando.
it's not like racing or
Have
anything.
a lot of fun on their streams doing ROM hacks and randomizers. Aster and Solski. And hopefully we'll get both of them in for an interview in just a few moments.
Yeah, both amazing.
I need to just like maybe he didn't have a mic. I don't know.
This was going to be a great
Or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he wasn't. Wouldn't have been as insightful last year or something.
Race time of 1:02:39, actually 2 seconds shorter than what his timer says there. But GG, very, very, very well played.
I don't think we really need to watch the rest of this.
Very solid randomizer time.
Look at that load. Everything.
But yeah, I don't think like this review was particularly good from me this stream.
Speaking of which, we have Asdra joining us in chat. Hello.
But
Really.
I do want to like it's part of it is like getting into the habit of it. He told me he didn't want to jump in earlier since he doesn't really play. It's kind of fair, I think. I think like yeah, I think if you don't play, you have a lot of like I think you have a lot of possible gaps that you won't be able to tell what knowledge gaps you have. And there's like a good chance that you'll say something dumb and like not have a player's understanding of how dumb it is. I'm saying that kind of negatively. But you know what I mean? Was there anything else I wanted to cover? Yeah, so yeah, again, this was just like practice on reviewing. Wasn't very good. It's mostly like talking about things that I already knew happened in the race. Was not paying all that much attention to what Solski was doing. I was able to piece what Solski was doing. I was able to piece it together eventually, just because the map was laid out such that there weren't really any other options. Yeah, so I'll see how this week goes. Like the most likely way, like if we lose this week, it's going to be either because we made a co-op blunder, like we did something inefficiently as far as co-op goes, or because someone died, or because like we got really unlucky and like both chose the incorrect spot looking for Varia or something like that. And yeah, I guess we'll see how much I get out of watching the next matches. But I'm excited to play next week. I feel a lot more confident in general. Like, I was fairly confident against Solski, but I honestly thought this was like I was like 70-30 to win, or maybe even like 65-35 or so. But like watching this back, I think I was more favored than that in retrospect, but I couldn't like know that going in. There's a lot of things that like when you haven't or you haven't seen someone be in a tournament for this game in a while, you don't know how good their prep is going to be. You don't like know what their baseline, like especially randomizer, where it's like you have to like socially kind of stay on top of the meta to be successful. And it's not entirely just about how fast you move through the game. So it's like, it's really difficult to like gauge some people's skill levels at certain modes accurately if you don't like stalk them. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about how I feel more personally accepting of mistakes that I might make. That's a big part of it too. And I just feel like I'm gonna have more fun in matches from now on. Computer setup again is really nice. Like once I'm used to it, I had trouble in the Echoes tourney because I wasn't used to playing on this computer setup yet. But now it's just like everything's really good. Also, if you haven't watched my VOD, I had a VOD that I need to highlight. I don't want my like a lot of my browser on this. I'll do it some other time. But so I was gonna grab the link to the direct VOD of me against Solski because I set my, like some people know this already, but I set my stream up with Twitch with like audio track 2 so that my mic will be on the VOD, but it won't be on the live stream for speed gaming. So if you go back and you watch the VOD on my channel, I'm gonna go highlight that. You'll see what I was thinking during the match if you haven't watched that already. And I might upload that too. I'm not sure, but there's like a lot of good like there's just a lot of good like kind of documentation and just like preservation is what I'm saying, is what I mean to be saying. There's a lot of like preservation of what was actually going on during these matches and stuff that eventually gets missed over the years. And I want more of a record of me having done all this stuff. So yeah, Friday and Saturday matches. Saturday, I'm thinking of